Klar, ja.
Und zwar, ich weiß nicht, ob du Judo heute angeschaut hast, der war ja ein bisschen, also nicht tricky, aber mit Confirmations und so war ja anfangs schon ein bisschen manipuliert.
Mhm.
Und ich habe das jetzt ein bisschen mau. Das kennt man ja so, dass man erst Losses macht, dann tradet man auf dem Echtgeld nicht mehr und nimmt auf dem Demo mit. Und dann kommt der Profit.
Mhm.
Und ich habe 3 Losses gehabt, mein Maximalrisk pro Tag erreicht. Und den
Mhm.
letzten dann nicht mehr genommen, wo ich mir sehr, sehr sicher war, aber ich wollte halt nicht mehr riskieren. Der ist dann auch recht gut aufgegangen, hat irgendwie Stand jetzt schon einen neuen Risk-Reward gemacht oder so. Und den habe ich noch auf Demo mitgenommen. Würdest du, wenn du dir sicher bist, trotzdem dann nochmal einen mehr riskieren oder würdest du sagen, hey, nur beobachten und nächsten Tag jetzt neu von vorne los?
Gute Frage. Ähm, ja, kommt darauf an jetzt, wie viel hast du jetzt schon verloren? Was ist bei dir so das Target? Also
Na,
maximal.
also 1% pro Tag bin ich bereit zu riskieren.
Okay?
Und pro Setup maximal so ein halbes Prozent. Also das ist so, alles darüber hinaus ist mir zu viel für ein Setup. Und genau. Ich hatte dann halt diesen 1%, ich glaube knapp ein bisschen mehr als 1%, 1,1% oder so verloren mit Kommission und so.
Mhm.
Und dann kam halt dieses eine Setup, worauf ich so ein bisschen gewartet habe, aber das war halt auch nur so eine halbe Sache, ob das noch aufgeht, also ob es noch kommt. Und ja, dann habe ich das halt noch in Demo mitgenommen, weil ich halt meinen Tagesrisk nicht überschreiten wollte, dass mein Tradingplan drin steht.
Ja, also grundsätzlich würde ich mir das Ganze immer so anschauen, und zwar in welcher Session wir gerade sind. Wenn du es praktisch sagst, okay, du möchtest maximal 1% Verlust haben pro Tag, das wären ja praktisch nur 2 Losses bei dir.
Nein, nein, also bis zu 4. Das ist halt also mindestens 0,25%.
Mhm.
Ich gucke halt so, wie ich mich mit dem Setup, also wie confident ich da bin. Ich
Mhm.
riskiere zwischen 0,25 und 0,5% pro Setup.
Okay. Ja, also grundsätzlich, also ich bin schon der Fan, dass wenn ich jetzt zum Beispiel, sage ich mal, bei mir sind es ja auch so 3, 4 Losses maximal, also ziemlich ähnlich jetzt so wie du. Wenn ich dann wieder ein Setup sehe und ich bin mir ziemlich sicher, dass der mir aufgeht, dann nehme ich den einfach. Also kann sein, dass ich dann wieder verliere, aber dann ist es halt einfach so. Dann akzeptiere ich das Ganze. Also ich würde das schon wirklich, wenn es geht, einfach noch mal probieren. Außer du sagst sowieso, boah, keine Ahnung, schaut schon nicht schlecht aus, aber du bist dir einfach nicht sicher. Dann machst du es lieber gar nicht, weil wenn du schon 4 Losses gemacht hast, dann wird das schon einen Grund haben, warum du so viele Losses an dem Tag gemacht hast. Da siehst du es einfach heute nicht so gut. Da würde ich einfach den nächsten Tag einfach mit voller Energie wieder reinstarten. Ja, ist halt schwierig zu sagen. Das kann man jetzt gar nicht so pauschal sagen. Wie gesagt, wenn ich merke, okay, der Tag ist nicht mein Tag und ich sehe ein Setup, dann nehme ich es nicht. Wenn ich sage, es ist nicht so mein Tag, aber ich sehe wirklich ein sehr gutes Setup, wo ich mir denke, boah, okay, der hat schon so funktioniert, dann nehme ich den schon. Also würde ich schon so das Ganze reingehen. Ich würde nicht einfach sagen, nur weil jetzt auf dem Papier steht, hey, ich darf jetzt nicht mehr, dass ich es dann auch tatsächlich nicht mehr mache. Würde ich nicht machen. Das ist ein bisschen zu. Weil das, was auf dem Papier steht, das muss ja nicht richtig sein, okay?
Ja, okay, danke.
Ja.
Dann gucke ich nächstes Mal einfach.
Perfect. So, for everybody, he was just asking right now about how we should deal with a situation where we, yeah, already lost the daily loss limit, right? So, for instance, he says he wants to lose maximum 1% per day, which means 0.25% per trade. And what happens after you reach the daily loss limits, another good setup. Should you take it or should you not take it? And that's quite hard to answer. More than likely, I'm a person who tends to just use it, to just take that setup if it makes sense, if I like the setup. I tend to use it even though I reached already my daily loss limit, just to make sure that I can still bank some profits at the end. If it makes sense, if the setup makes sense, just take it. If it doesn't make sense, of course, don't take it. Don't try to over hesitate there. If you say your day is already bad, right? And for some reason you're making too much losses, then it's better to not take it. But if you say, hey, I already made my daily loss limits and the setup looks so good and I think it's right now ready to go into my direction, just go and take it. Okay? So just because it's your trading plan says to you do this and this, doesn't mean that you always need to follow like to 100% the whole time, especially when it comes to these things. Now, for trading rules, of course, you should stick to them. Otherwise, how you want to get your probabilities. But if you just risk that day instead of 1%, if you lose instead of 1%, 1.25%, that's not really a big of a deal. But if you lose on that day instead of 1%, 3%, that's a huge deal. So try to understand it from that perspective, okay? We don't need to be here perfect traders or something like that, but hey, if you see a good chance, maybe that one chance is going to bring you back to profit. Like he says right now, it would be a 9R profit instead of making the 0.25% loss, the -1R. So you would just gain right now 9R with that one single trade. So you see, it's really the better choice in many, many cases to just risk an additional position if you feel that it's necessary. You could also do it like that to say, hey, I risk maximum 1%, right? You just make it like this. This is your trading plan. And then you allow yourself within your trading plan, optional, okay, optional. If you like the setup and that setup needs to be a setup, then you're going to risk another 1.25%. Optional, and you leave that for you. And you can also say, okay, I do this only maximum 1 to 2 times per week. Okay, to limit yourself a little bit. Give yourself rules like that. Would make a lot of sense, okay? It's better to use it like this instead of just saying from the start, oh no, 1% and I'm done. Also okay if you do it. I'm not saying it's bad. I personally go for such a thing. Okay, so me personally, when I reach my daily loss limit and I see another good setup, hey, I just take it. Okay, don't hesitate there too much. I would say rather stay away because then you can build bad habits and then you will do that every time and can lead to overtrading. Yes, so totally agree on that point. So that's why I also say it's a little bit individuality. And if you are a person who has big issues with overtrading, then of course, that's not something what you should do. And probably for the majority, it is like that many tend to go in overtrading instead of trading to less or something like that. But I also don't want you guys to be scared about the charts, right? To be scared to take trades. That's not what you should be, okay? Because I know that feeling, how it can be after you just take loss after loss. It's like you have this type of anxiety in yourself that you say, oh my God, right now the rules are satisfied, but I don't know. I'm so scared to take it. That's not what you should be at the end, okay? You should be more risky, I would say, instead of being to have too much fear, okay? So yeah, at the end, that's exactly what, you see these kind of questions, you see, I cannot even give you right now like 100% answer to it. And also right now, I need to think a lot to how to describe these kind of things because it's a very personal thing at the end, you need to know yourself. Now, if I do this every single day, will it affect me in a negative or in a positive way? That's something which you will learn with time at the end, So I know for myself that I can do this. I know that if I lost 1%, for instance, let's say that's my daily loss limit, I know for a fact that whenever I see a good setup, I can go and risk another extra trade on that. Even though when I'm going to lose that, I'm feeling okay and I'm not coming into that over trading because like I set up like my daily limits already so low by myself also, like it's 3 to 4 losses that I can take. That's already pretty low. So for me, it's okay if I see a very nice setup later on. Let's say I just destroyed my whole daily loss limits or I reached it already in the London session. And then I see in the New York session a very good setup. 100% I'm going to take it. 100% I'm going to take it, even though I'm not feeling good at it. So I know myself already how I can manage these kind of things. So that's what you need to do by your own. Learn yourself during this trading journey and try to understand how to figure this out. Because the problem is also that not every week, every month is going to be the same for you, even from an emotional state. There are weeks where you're going to feel better. There are weeks where you're not going to feel that good. Okay. So like for now, I can speak right now for myself. This week started. It's right now not a crazy week for me so far. So for me, it's a lot of waiting so far this whole week. I don't like this type of trading. It is what it is. I like when we got strong, fast movements, when I can end my trading day already in a few minutes. Right now, I'm still waiting. Market is chilling. I mean, just if we just look on GU, we'll go over the recap immediately. This is so slow, so boring. So I just waited a whole day. I just took a small short today. That's it. Nothing really worth mentioning. I'm still waiting. I'm going to wait for the New York session to come. You see, every day is a little bit different. So that's why also your emotions is going to play with you differently. You need to know these phases, and you need to know how to master these phases at the end by your own, because nobody can help you there. You know, I can say to you, hey, next week will be great. It doesn't really count. You need to deal with the situation by your own, and not to come in overtraining, or to also to not trade too less because you have too much fear in yourself. So make sure to just stick to the plan at the end, and you will see, even though if we have a market phase where market is not that funny anymore, that good phase will come. Right now, also, you need to understand we're end of April. That's what I notice very often is end of the month. Okay, it's also for me sometimes strange. Okay, I just said up front, the first week is not it's okay, but like the last week of every month, I feel it by my own sometimes. It's like exactly when I don't have like the best win rates. I don't know why it is. Maybe it's already a psychology thing for myself, because I know it's end of the month, and then it's like I don't get the craziest results anymore. You also need to understand that the monthly candle is closing, so that definitely has an impact on the charts. So I won't deny this kind of thing. Same as like, you know, the last weekly candle in the monthly to close the monthly candle and so on. So a lot of things, a lot of factors at the end. Okay, so I'm just saying this. Great. Then I would say let's get into the price action. Let's have a look on what you offered us, and let's have a look also on the monthly right now, because that's exactly which will close very soon. So in just 3 days and 11 hours, we will close the monthly candle. And as you can see on GU, the situation is like that we may go up higher from a monthly. So I explained that already. For me, it looks like this imbalance here, right, is going to be like the extreme imbalance that we will not balance, and that we are going to get and head over to fill the imbalance here, right? This one in the middle is right now like the potential target. That's what I see right now from the monthly. We can also see that we grab this liquidity, right? If we have a look from the monthly perspective, what happened is that from here we push down, right? That's like the last movement. That's the imbalance that we want to see price filling now. And maybe that's exactly where price is going to continue to move up higher right now from the monthly. I don't really view market to go down to tap this one. I view that to be a little bit unrealistic. From a weekly perspective, doesn't look that bad, if I'm honest, because you got this, right? You even get here the nice wick. I would still view it more bullish, but let's see. Like I said, I do not really give too much attention on that, but maybe it will help us right now to determine the potential bullish direction. You can also see in the weekly candle how nice everything looks like, right? You see here, we balance this. So everything all right. You can check out the daily as well. Daily tapped also somewhere here. Boom, tapped into this. And now we are in this imbalance at the top. So potential pullback, of course. I would say maximum till here. Maybe even taking a form of liquidity to come up higher. But yeah, I would say also this one is not too realistic. Looking in the 4 hours, refining it to this, we can see price fill this imbalance. Let's just go straight back with the backtesting tool so we can simulate today's price action. And balance. We can delete that. So you see how I do it on all the higher time frames, but you don't need it at the end. All you need is at the end on the 4 hours. You see here, boom, balanced. Now where price can come down is now to balance this, right? Come down and then push up higher. Maybe even balancing right now, like the wick, it's possible if we have such an order block. So I like to just have these lines on the charts that when we are going to approach them, when these lines are on the lower time frame at another imbalance, we can have a higher chance to understand where we should go. Here at the top, we see already everything is balanced. More than likely now, this will get then automatically liquidity as soon as it's balancing something. So the idea is not too tricky. So let's go M15. Let's see how Asia got developed. And that's already interesting here because the Asia did balance the market. Automatic reaction is it will drop down lower. So you see how it swept here some form of liquidity to push up higher. It balanced the market. And now what will happen is automatically the low will go. Now that's a little bit sad because right now you know already that the low needs to go, but you cannot trade it. This price will already move down, as you can see. It's under strong bearish pressure right now. So these type of setups, as you can see, are like very high probability, but it happened in the Asia session. So for us, not really a chance to trade it. Cool. Let's move on. Now let's see what we should do in a Frankfurt session in such a situation. Now for me, it was like that. I've seen this imbalance. Of course, also the wick, which is possible. Now let's have a look here at the wick. Where can we adjust the wick? You see that you have here in this whole context here, only one single imbalance. That's actually this one, right? On the M15, it's this one. So it's the only one which makes sense to use. This one is the 4 hour. Now, if price will come down lower, in order for price to react from here, it is possible, of course, because also here you got like a form of imbalance here. But more than likely, you have like this, right? You have this liquidity. And here you got the next imbalance. So exactly between this liquidity and this, you also got like another imbalance. So the chances are quite high that yes, we will go down, but probably even tapping into this before continuing to move up higher. Now, you should not care too much about this. What you should care about is right now, how are we going to come down lower to target at least this? Because that's what we want to see right now. We want the 4 hours to get filled. You see that we already absorbed liquidity. Now, because of we absorb this liquidity, the chances right now here that price will come up higher, give us a pullback till the next POI. For me, today it was like this. I mapped it out that we see this and that we got imbalance in between here. That's what I was looking for, if I'm honest. What I ignored today was the imbalance, which was the next one, which was laying. That was actually here, this one, this source of liquidity and this imbalance, because that's the next one lying. So right now, again, the field principle that we use, price is moving down. We have liquidity. We fill the form of imbalance, but we didn't fill the full imbalance, which means this is automatically liquidity for the market. Now we need to push price to balance market, to take liquidity, and then to take the next source of liquidity. In that way, you provide all the traders this potential uptrend, making them believe price will go up higher, but we want to continue down lower. And for me, it was like that. I had my eyes here. I said, okay, cool. There is still something. What I understood on this price action was that here we balanced with this bearish candle, part of the supply range, and I expect the price then to continue to move down lower. Okay. So I've seen this, okay, there is still an imbalance. Maybe we'll go and target that one. But yeah, that's definitely, we should keep all PYs on our mind. And then let's see how Frankfurt will open. At 8 o'clock, you see already what we're doing here is balance the range, bullish, and then price should actually take already off to go and balance the area. Boom. Balanced, as you can see, because everything is bullish order flow. You got your like your M on BOS is like somewhere here. So that was like the last short movement. BOS, after we tapped into the Asia session, was there. So you can actually right now look for longs. And you see how we balance the area. You see this engulfing candle moves down, and then at the end just takes off after a form of pullback. Okay, it didn't balance right now the wick in this case, which would be very great. But you see like the opening created this candle. That candle gave you like here a break or something, and then it just comes a buyer. So it's again for me not really a setup that I'm looking for, but definitely a possibility at the end. And yeah, then the end price starts to drop down because we want to balance the area down below. So for me, it was like that. I've seen this reaction to the downside, but I was not sure if are we really going to go up higher. Now, for us to identify a potential long was only possible, let me show you, was here a possibility. That's what I had in my mind. I just didn't like the way how the candles got formed. That's the only reason why at the end I didn't took it, because my idea was, hey, we will come up higher than this. Sure, I understood that we got this form of imbalance and that this can be a potential reversal, especially after refining these things. And I viewed here this imbalance. I said, okay, cool, looks great. We push down. Okay, everything was interesting. Then we got like this candle for a potential long to take out everything out, because I seen here balanced, imbalance. So this should be the liquidity. That's exactly what price targeted, as you can see. Exactly this candle. Let me just go back. So when I've seen this, you should know that this candle is invalid. Why? Because you didn't fill the imbalance. You just tapped into the wick here, but not in the imbalance. So that's the only imbalance that you have. This candle makes it invalid because it's right now can be a potential confirmation. Let's say you can use this one, but it's not the one which is really strong. The bullish candle which you see here, if that one would be here, then yes, I will be definitely in the long. But this one is like too less. So I do not really recommend you to take these trades. Then you see like a doji, which yes, is a candle confirmation, but it's not here. Did not happen here. The doji did not took any form of liquidity. The doji will be, again, in the context where it is right now, would be valid, but only if the bullish candle would be instead of the bearish one. Then the doji can be used as an additional or as the next candle as a confirmation. That's what you could use. So you see, all these things are possible. You should just need to understand that some of them will work better and some will not work that good. In most of the cases, it's always like that. When a candle takes out the previous candle, so like this one, the red one is taking out the bullish candle, but it's not closing bullish. That's like for me, like the significant thing, because I want to see the institutions placing the order, activating their order, and also dominating at this point. Because if they're dominating, then I make the conclusion that, hey, bulls take over control, and a bullish candle is a sign in the market, hey, that we do take over control. And that's exactly what I want to see. If it's just a bearish candle, it's like too less. There was too less money involved. You see that they wanted to target this point because they wanted to push price back up, because that's what they needed in order to fill the imbalances here. And of course, also to take out liquidity. Okay. So now, even though let's say you take here the long, which is totally fine, on the M5, that's what you need to keep in mind is the M5, you still got here like an imbalance. And that's exactly what gets filled with the next candle. And on the M1, this is liquidity and you have no imbalance. So that's exactly why you always need to look on all time frames, because that's why I did enter it at the end. I said to myself, okay, looks more bearish than bullish, of course, but I wanted to have an M1 POY at that moment, which I have which was not able here. That's why I didn't look here for any shorts, even though it would be pretty good to take shorts here, if I'm honest. I just said, hey, you know what? It's already 8:30 around that hour. And I said, it's not a high quality setup right now for myself. so I'm not going to take it. I watched here this POI to have a look if it gives me something. Even though if I would have get here like a nice entry confirmation, so bearish pin bar, it would be run because that's just a source of liquidity, as you can see. It's just 3 candles to the downside in this case, no liquidity in between. So more than likely price needs to take it out. So that's exactly what kind of price action price delivers you. You see push up, down, take out the high of this candle plus the previous candle movement, and then it's going to drop down. Boom, drops down. You see coming one more time up higher to build imbalance, to go down lower afterwards. It's a pretty nice projection at the end, but quite hard to make this type of interpretation from my point of view. So that's why I was a person that didn't looked at it. You see, price always just looks for liquidity and imbalance. In this case, you have the liquidity on M1 and the imbalance on the M5. Okay, so that's why it's important to have a look on multiple time frames, not just on M1 only, because you will not be able to see the full picture. What do you got here? Trap. One more time, trap. And we melt right through it. Now, here everybody should know everything is a trap. So what you should do is looking for a short. That was exactly what I traded. So I entered here when I've seen price giving me this type of movement down, came back up. In this area, I entered my first short somewhere here. We'll share afterwards. Protecting this because yes, you have imbalance here. Yes, we potentially feel that, but for me, like the low was the first target, and I put my TP at 7-1 at the end. So I wanted to target pretty here this imbalance, and I wanted to target here the 4-hour imbalance straight. And afterwards, then price you see was quite okay, 7-2. I said okay, we'll go straight to TP, but you see we still have liquidity, we still have imbalance, we fill it, then we go down. Okay, so that was a potential re-entry at the end, and then we go for this movement to the downside. So but it's better to wait that you got tapped in your zone, like buying somewhere just from M1. It's really hard, can lead to a lot of losses because we didn't even tap yet 5-minute imbalance yet, if you know what I mean. So this buy wasn't even high probability. Yes, that's totally right. The thing is just you can always buy into your POIs if you want. It's not high probability, of course not, but it's definitely possible if you want to do this. I'm that type of person. I like to do this, but only if it really makes sense to me. So even though it's not much pips that I could have been targeting, I still like to make it. Yes. Yeah, so it's better always to wait for the higher time frame. Like not right now, like here, going for the short because the 4-hour imbalance is what we want to target. So I closed it a little bit too early because price, yeah, as you can see, it's just melting through it. Yeah. Seriously, I was quite bad. I closed at 7-1 and it just dropped like till here.
I can I jump fast just a second? Like, can you go on 15 minutes? Sorry to interrupt. Just like let me show you what I have in mind. Same as you, like, but this day already clear, right? So I was waiting then from the 4-hour here, but I got probably too much risky. Go 1 minute. I entered too fast, I guess. I saw immediately that bullish pin bar, which they cleared this out,
Yeah.
right? And then they give bearish candles. I entered here, but the idea was right, I guess, but they tend to go lower because there was still much imbalances. And remember last previous we said if it's more imbalances, rather wait for somehow extreme ones rather.
Exactly.
So
Totally right.
this one was not valid, right?
Yeah. So it was the idea itself was not bad. It was like also I looked at this POI itself and I just looked at it, but you see how fast it already drops down.
Exactly,
So,
but it gave a confirmation candle like a pin bar.
Yes.
I mean, that's why I entered,
Yes.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay if you entered. It's
Okay.
like, at the end, just to think that what you got here. So I always look to see if I'm here. Now, I do not really care too much about refined areas, but sometimes I look at them, and then if you try here like on M5 or something, you see that it's just laying at this, right?
Exactly
So
what I saw as well from the start. Yeah, but I was like, it's too good to be true. Like this trend line's okay, but still they usually like these candles are already like
yeah,
like they can go fast up, you know. Like I
Yeah.
like to be a little bit risky as well, but yeah.
sure, it's totally fine. You can do that. So I would not say it's a bad idea that you took that long. You just need to,
Okay.
look what happens afterwards.
Okay, thanks.
Great. So yeah, at the end, we really came all the way back down to the 4 hour. And then that's what I liked, was like seeing this. But yeah, it was quite huge, quite fast at the end, everything. You see how it balanced this one. Was interested in the long, at the end, didn't join it because I don't know. I didn't feel too confident about the whole thing today. It was like having this was okay, but also here that my mind was like, okay, we now tapped into this. What if this whole thing is liquidity and so on? So I don't know. I just didn't really enjoy it at the end. This whole price action came back. You see all the way to the extreme. And I didn't take you out. And then that's right now not the type of setups that I take. So when we tap here, I don't want to see price returning to it, but it still does. Playing a lot around. So the whole London session was so super slow, no real movements. At the end, it did took off like the higher time frame wants it, because you got the 4 hour imbalance. But yeah, you see, takes a long while for it, I think.
I got trapped in that consolidation. Luckily, the price came back to my entry point, so I got out. Well,
Yeah, that's the problem when it's consolidating. And that's why, like, personally, I'm always a fan of supporting like the full idea, right? So like in this case, you won't get trapped if you like did use this candle here and had the stop loss below that candle. But also the risk reward, of course, not that nice, because it's still a six pip stop loss. Also for me, like one of the criteria why I said not interested in that. Of course, it came back down to fill this. That could have been the option to take it. Now, personally, was not involved that way into the market. Otherwise, something like this would be a great idea. And right now, maybe even targeting like the high of Asia, which makes sense. Yeah, but you see, consolidation, we never know when price will maybe consolidate. So always try to protect like the higher time frame idea if possible. In this case, it won't be even protected, because we could spike below the equal lows now, then come up higher. So I don't know. I don't really enjoy the whole price action from today. Only the short, from my point of view, was okay. But right now, everything which happened afterwards is, you see, super slow, takes a lot of time, not doing anything relevant. Here we can see we do not really got any imbalances anymore. Everything is filled and more than likely supposed to go and target everything. So right now, from my point of view, this is the target. And if this is the target, we should actually take out the high to run the high and to continue with the bullish movements. So that's how I view it right now. Can make a new clean chart. Yeah. This, not fill this one, but fill this, refine down. I don't really see this. I mean, that could be also an option, that this is liquidity right now. We hunt the liquidity to balance something down there. But if I need to choose something on M15, I don't really have something to choose. The only one which could be a potential is the wick. Yeah, the wick here. The wick down there, yes. So like this, also possible, which is not in the 4 hour anymore. That's the only thing, because the 4 hour there is already balanced here. That's, I would only look here like in this context till here. that would be only that one single wick, which could be still a potential.
Look how similar they did, like yesterday, completely. You see 15 minutes, almost exact zone or whatever you want to call it. Can you zoom in here? How they tapped, right? Zoom out a little bit, zoom out a little bit. Go to the right. Yeah, you see in here, watch.
Yeah, that
Here,
one.
now almost the same, watch.
Yeah.
So they plan something again, I guess, because they're coming from here, something from the
Yeah.
left as well. Everything else is balanced.
Right.
Yeah, just observation, you know.
Yeah, I've also seen this one.
Almost
Yeah.
the same run.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. So also, I'm not too sure right now because the thing is, this imbalance here, so there is no imbalance. So automatically, if what it tapped into it here, so this here, should now have actually the power to take it out, especially because you have like only bearish candles. So normally should take it out. And that one here, just taking this out won't bring it down, I would say. Let's see. So definitely this is like for me one target or this. So that's exactly the range where we are. So one of these two are going to be taken out. Now let's see.
Darius, ich habe auch oft so einen Gedankengang, ich weiß nicht, inwiefern das generell jetzt so stimmt. Ich habe es ja beim Backtesten auch gemerkt, dass das funktioniert. Du kannst ja gerne noch mal kurz hier reinzoomen ein bisschen. Und ich gucke halt immer so, das hast du ja auch oft gesagt, dass wenn ein Pullback kommt, also, wobei hier sieht man das, glaube ich, gar nicht so clean. Ich weiß nicht, ob da jetzt ein Imbalance ist oder nicht. Dass wenn der Markt halt Liquidität im Imbalance füllt, dann gibt er ja einen Pullback und sobald die nächste bullische Candle kommt, hat er das Pullback abgeschlossen und kann dann theoretisch in die gewünschte Richtung weitergehen, weil wir auf der linken Seite hier auch Imbalance gefüllt haben und die Liquidität genommen
Genau.
haben. Deswegen ja, würde ich halt auch denken, dass es eventuell weiter bullisch geht. Ja.
Voll. Ja, ich sehe es auch, ja, so. Aber wie gesagt, es ist schwierig gerade. Einfach zu wenig Moves. Ich mag das gar nicht. Also es ist halt zu slow. Das
Meinst du, es
Ganze.
liegt daran, dass, wobei bei GPUs ist ja irrelevant, dass Italien Bank Holiday ist. Ich weiß nicht, was da für krasse Banken am Start sind, aber das ist ja für den Euro vielleicht
Ja,
auch so eine Sache.
glaube nicht. Ich weiß nicht. Manchmal vielleicht geht in New York voll ab jetzt. Aber kann theoretisch schon sein, aber eigentlich nicht. Normalerweise müssen die Engländer das schon draufdrücken können, aber
Ja.
schauen wir mal. Ja, ist halt ein bisschen langweiliger Tag. Generell, wie gesagt, letzte Woche irgendwie vom Monat ist immer ein bisschen komisch. Okay. Now I also don't know right now because of, we are approaching to come right now to summer, I don't know what month it's going to start to be slow. So last year, I don't know, I was thought about, August was going to be super slow. In fact, it was quite good at the end. Everything was very reasonable. So last year didn't really face like that lack of liquidity, if I'm honest. So the whole year was constantly good provided with liquidity. Now let's see. Yeah, what should we add? Yesterday, what happened yesterday? So we went over London, Frankfurt already yesterday. Let's have a look on what New York did. New York was actually, at the end, I personally looked for some shorts. At the end, didn't enter any of them, but it was, at least it provided us a nice short movement. Let's have a look quickly. Here. So you see London giving us the push to the upside, taking the Asia high out. And then like my idea was, okay, maybe we will go down lower to balance something. And then you see how price moved down, moved up. And that's exactly when the kill zone started. To do what? Actually, to go and fill another part of the imbalance. But there was still imbalance left. That was like the thing. So I just expect the price to balance this, to take the liquidity from here and to drop down, And at the end, this liquidity was enough to bring price all the way back up. So I expected personally that we will come somewhere here to take like this liquidity. That's not what happened. So there was definitely a nice trading opportunity. If we look on the entry candle confirmations, trying to get an M1 POI or M5, let's look what we got here. So M5 was like this. And the M1 within this POI. So you see that is the M5. You see there is that one candle, which could be the one. So price tapped into that here and gave you like the confirmation to the downside. You see, always when you don't protect the higher time frame idea, can go against you. So till here, that's where you should put around your stop loss. So when price taps into it here, comes down below here, you say, hey, that's my entry confirmation. Like I said, always around 5 pips is what you can give you to protect the higher time frame idea. You could do that, go down, target the next liquidity. But again, it's not like an ideal situation. That's why I was a person didn't went for the setup, didn't really like everything. I expected something like this to happen, but in all cases, I don't know. It was not a good setup in my eyes. So I didn't really want to go for the setup. Also here, as you can see, trend line liquidity. So it's proven right. We just come up to balance, to come down, and to continue to move up higher. So yeah, also yesterday, New York session, not really a nice price action. What price delivered us. Even if you wanted to look for the long, there was your confirmation, was this nice bullish candle here after taking out liquidity, after filling some form of imbalance in between here. The extreme imbalance will be left, but that one is exactly what it feels, and then it comes up higher. Yeah, that would be, let's say, that could be a nice possibility at the end. But also from an M1 perspective, I would say quite hard. Already a little bit late, you know, it's almost 4 o'clock. Not really the timing that I want to look for a setup. So yeah, at the end, just wanted to target some liquidity from the upside. So yeah, you see everything here. Like I said, if it wanted to go down, it will go down. But everything was proven as liquidity at the end. We just went up higher to target everything, and yeah. So yeah, Monday, Tuesday, but minus not really nice price action, like I said already a few times. So if you have days like that, just relax, don't panic, don't try to take trades just because you want to trade something. I feel you. I also want to always trade, but if it's not possible, I know it will just be losses at the end if you try to catch something. Now, one more time, what I expect for the New York session is now a nice potential up move. View it in ranges, like always. Try to view market in a range. Try to view the context. The range is the context. You see price moves down. Now what can happen is price to respect this range and to come up higher to take out this, or to respect this and go down lower, or of course taking this to take this out, also possible. And like right now, like my opportunity or my view is like, hey, we will continue to move up higher because this movement down did what? A mitigation here, so filling the imbalance to the left. So just make it cleaner so that we can send it straight to you. So you see this movement down here, right? From here to here down, this movement, that's the 4 hour, right? That's the 4 hour demand. So on the M15 represented as a few bearish candles. Refined this range to an M15 imbalance on this side, right? When it's new created and it's pushing up higher, that's exactly when I consider it to be balanced here. So now that's like the liquidity points. Now, if this here at the low was the order that we've been looking for to balance the market and to go up higher, this is automatically the next target. If this is the next target, it will clear out this high as well, right? Because it wants to fill the imbalance starts from that point. That's the liquidity, so that's irrelevant for me anymore. So for me right now, like this is already the next point that I'm looking price to target. So from here, another 20 pip movement potential. So right now, in 10 minutes, when the New York kill zone will start, you can look for some potential entry somewhere here, and go for a long. Or you say, no, I believe in the bearish bias. Now, I do not believe in the bearish bias for one simple reason, because I don't have here any liquidity point, and I do not got any imbalances from my point of view. There's no imbalance left. So right now, because we filled the imbalance here, we collected the fuel from this low here, we collected everything from here, and now we filled the imbalance. Now we should have the fuel to come up higher. That's my way of thinking. So that's why personally I'm looking for some nice longs from here, to target this imbalance. And when that one got triggered, you got the chance the price will continue to push up higher to take out the high, depending on the higher time frame. That's basically it. So that's the only moves that I'm anticipating right now. If we'll go from here straight down, no confirmation, no nothing. Yeah, let's see. Then we may go down till this. Then from here we'll go up higher. Okay, so this setup, or from here maybe a little bit down and then to here. So one of these two is the ones I'm looking for. If I lose like this one, it's okay. I'm looking for this one. If I also lose this one, I call it a day. Why I think this PY makes sense. You see here, no equal lows or something. We made this clear out, pushed up, created from here the 4-hour demand. So this whole block there, this whole demand looks to me like an institutional thing here. You see this movement and this. So that's why I'm looking at both POIs for the potential continuation, because I see that institutions have done here something, and from here we may go up higher. This is just liquidity. So if they entered like the long from here, the exits here, they want to continue to surpass that level. It can only be from here or from here. So right now for you, that can be a confirmation to expect this, but it also can go down and to expect it from here. The fact that we got equal lows makes this idea from the start not as good because of the equal lows. That's why I don't like, that's the only thing that I don't like about it. If this bullish candle here would be taking out liquidity, 100% going up. I won't doubt that idea. But now, because viewing it from this perspective makes also sense that right now New York will bring it down and then to push up higher. So keep these two scenarios in your mind. Choose one, which one fits most to you. Maybe right now in 8 minutes we're already down, you know, so then this idea already should not be something which is important for you. Yeah. I'm kind of questioning my own biases these days, how to view or get daily bias in my mind. Yeah, it's not easy. Not easy. Also for me, you see, it's not super easy. I just explained to you now what I see, but right now, yeah, not that easy. You see, now we filled daily imbalance, you know, we may go up higher from here, you know, so that's why I'm looking for longs. From my point of view, we should look for some longs, but that doesn't mean that we will go straight long from here. Like I said, one of these two POIs will make sense. So within this range or after tapping into this, would have your nice liquidity for it to work. So let's see.
Darius, was denkst du zu dem Wick hier? Weil der Markt hier Liquidität genommen hat, um den Pullback zu geben und dann vielleicht weiter bullish zu gehen?
Das ist nicht unbedingt was mich jetzt interessiert, weil das wurde ja auch schon wieder gebalanced. Würde mir jetzt eher 5 Minuten oder so anschauen, aber hier sehe ich auch gar nichts. Minute 1 könnte theoretisch das hier sein. Aber wenn er das bricht, dann ist er vorbei.
Easy, danke.
So we're just asking her right now about potential POIs. So for me right now, from one perspective, we only got this one. We know we will get some bullish confirmations. We may take over, go up higher. But you see also here, like, grab liquidity and then what? Balance this to come lower. So, yeah. Can be a nice short now. Looking for some shorts. Can do now something like this. Up, down, or up. Or just going straight down, you know, everything possible. So let's see. Let's see what price will give us. But yeah, always wait till the kill. Great. Okay. I would say that's it actually. Cannot add anything.
Darius, I have a question regarding the course.
Mhm.
In your course, you taught us to select order blocks on POYs that are most likely to react the price. So when we are watching these Zoom calls, you reflect the reactions on imbalances. What's the difference? Why are you not taking more order blocks anymore?
Okay. The thing is, you can, like, if you want to get like the highest chances, I would say you can just look straight only for order blocks. Because an order block is what? If you tap into an order block, then that's automatically you fill the full imbalance. Okay. So the thing is, if you do it always like that, you will miss on many opportunities, because we also tend to trade now like price just taps into the imbalance the first time, gives a reaction, and it's going to move up. Okay. So right now, like if you have a look on what happened today here, you see the imbalance starts here, the order block starts here. Imbalance is exactly in between. Now you could trade already the first reaction, which in this case, you know, it's not even possible because price is like already straight coming up higher and going down. So that's like the difference. So you can of course trade the order blocks. I just tend to trade both. And I do not call it order blocks anymore, because for me it's like they're still the imbalance. And when we fill the imbalance, then I'm looking always for a setup. So the moment always when we feel a form of imbalance, I'm looking for a setup. That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Oh yeah, now this is the only thing which I see now is here, this wick on M15. Yeah, that's the one that I missed. Haven't viewed like this. So that could be right now from my point of view, like the last chance. Potential long. But yeah, on lower time frame, you see it's not. I cannot really see anything. That's the thing. Whenever I cannot see something in the lower time frame, it's like not valid for me. Even though you see it's nice, looks like this, it's nice pin bar, you know, would make sense. Now it's not even a kill zone. If that would be in the kill zone, would be for me something okay. So maybe I risk it, maybe not. A situation like this, you know, you see it already. It's a lot of trend line. It's not the one that I want to look for, if I'm honest. So yeah, I would say it looks like we will all have a look on the POI here and go along from there. Great. Well, then that's it, guys, for today. On Thursday, we got the next call, and I wish you best of luck. Don't forget to have patience. Doesn't need that you should take now this entry just because I share that with you. I'm also going to look if I see what I want. If not, I call it already a day, and I'm already hyped for tomorrow then. Have a nice day, guys. Bye-bye.
Danke, Bro. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.